make sure it's going here. Latest Star Trek Discovery. I forget the title, but it'll be on the description. I'll look it up again. The best we can say on this one is that the plot seemed to maintain course pretty much. It didn't get totally wacky. There was, and some
Die trying.
It's like,
It's called Die Trying.
All right, Die Trying, yeah. And they're, basically, okay. Again, these are spoiler filled. I don't mess with no spoiler. Just gonna lay it out here. Discovery arrives at what passes for Federation and Starfleet headquarters now, which I think they were going a little overboard. Oh wow, look at it! It's that and that. It's like, give it a rest, people. Okay, there's no way you should recognize any of this crap. And of course, we'll call out at the end of the Voyager J. It's like, okay, fine. I suppose we can probably figure that Voyager would have gotten that kind of treatment after what they went through. But let's see. They first get a little grilling from Starfleet because they're not going to trust them right at the bat. You are who you say you are. They come up with a creaky old, well, not like creaky, this ancient artifact of a ship and everything. This doesn't match our records. Well, yeah, they would have deleted the records. No, yeah, okay, yeah. We're not going. You're not going anywhere until we figure out who the hell you are, people. Okay, which is understandable. And finally, Burnham is put in her place a few times, both by Saru and the Admiral. Because before we gotta go to no, we don't, Commander. Stay in your lane. Guess and Saru's we're not out there anymore. We're back at headquarters. So you can't get away with this crap. Not that you really should have gotten away with it in the first place, but you really can't get away with it now. And let's see. We also apparently there's suddenly this one little ship that wanders out there that contains seeds of all the. It's kind of like
Seed vault ship.
It's a seed. Yeah, it's think of it like the Valley Forge on Silent Running, only it looks more like just an escape pod from. It's a weird little thing. It's a weird little thing. It does not look like anything like a Federation ship. It's supposed to be a Federation ship, and the inside certainly doesn't look. Inside looks more like, I don't know, Borg on acid, but they trade off every once in a while. Certain species are running for this month, and then they'll trade off to somebody else. And this time happens to be a Barzan family that's in charge. Well, guess what? Now we got a Barzan crew, so she can finally be given a graceful exit, give her a whole episode regularized, because apparently her eyes react to the Earth, human type atmosphere and look weird, but get her in, her own atmosphere, and suddenly she has like big brown eyes, and also take off the breathing apparatus thing. So it's just a couple of buttons on her face, but and actually thinking back, the introduction of the Barzan in the Next Gen episode, The Bargain. They had an old Barzan lady negotiating with the wormhole that went into the Delta Quadrant. She had normal eyes. She didn't have weird contacts, or whatever call them, but that's another issue. So we got this whole thing of this family. Something happened. They got caught in a solar flare, basically, and they all died. The father goes nuts because he was in the process. You only enter the seed vault apparently by beaming in. Whatever. And the schmaltz is very thick in this episode. You got a whole thing where they're looking longingly out the thing. It's like, nothing professional about this at all. And there's lots of strings and lots of things. Oh, it's pretty. And a little prolonged thing about, one, just getting in there and getting the seeds and getting the father talked down a bit so he can get them the seeds. It was on his voice lock. And I'm still wondering what this. There was a thing with a bunch of light, the thing floating out there. Unnecessary expenditure. It's kind of the producer mind am I going here. It's like, what is all this? How much did this bloody set cost? It didn't need to. And all these special effects and having to animate this floaty thing come out. It's a seed vault, okay? It doesn't look like a bunch of drugged up honeybees made this thing, But after they get the seeds, then they're arguing about what to do. This guy, he's got to get grad. Like, you were sent here on a mission, get the seeds, figure out a cure for this disease that's affecting these other guys, and get the hell back. And they're wasting time arguing. The ship's supposed to meet back on, Federation. Anyway, take the whole damn thing back to Federation headquarters and sort it out there. So they're wasting time out here discussing this whole thing, and finally, of course, as Mikey Spock comes up with the thing, it's like, take the seeds, get back to the ship, and develop a cure. Okay, fine. And then there was a little heartfelt moment with Mikey and a little Barzan girl. Don, what? Non. Okay, yeah, it was something. Just kind of a non-character, frankly. But it's interesting. They only really develop these characters until they're sending them off, and suddenly they got to give them a personality. Speaking of Jet Reno, which frankly sounds like a character from the Jetsons. But again, I think I'm going to give more of the credit here to Tig Notaro for that, because she's the only character still that has any real personality that makes any kind of sense. Okay, and I'm pretty sure she writes her own dialogue or ad-libs a bunch, but. But I will agree this. I'm not. What's going on with the Emperor? I'm pretty sure that was a David Cronenberg cameo when they were interrogating Emperor Georgiou.
Actually, his name was in the credits.
Yeah, I know it was in credits, but it wasn't told what party he's playing. So I'm assuming that Cronenberg was that guy. But somehow Philippa knows how to short out holograms just by blinking, the red thing. So her and Cronenberg are having the talk about what's what, why she tags along with the discovery. And of course, another little mystery box plopped in the very end, where everything's solved. They got the cure, and they're back in Starfleet's good graces. And they come back in ship, and Mikey's sees Philippa just standing there, staring at a corner in the hallway. And they, Philippa, you all right? And suddenly, what? Like, why would you ask me that question? And storms off. So another little thing is like, and Kayla Detmer is still having little PTSD situations where they're, at least it's just a standard ion storm this time, not some weird quasi whatever temporal anomaly of the week type thing. It's a basic ion storm, okay? Which rocked the ship a bit and rattled Detmer. And again, I think they finally discovered that Emily Kutz can actually act, so let's give her something to work with here, And frankly, considering all the stuff on there, yeah, I think if any of us, we'd also be pretty PTSD out the wazoo too, so we can identify with Detmer, But overall, the plot itself was okay. The way it was handled, again, schmaltzy as all hell. It could have done a lot of things differently there. And the Admiral kind of shut down any kind of warm and fuzzy with whatever the the wannabe Trill, Adira, yeah. And that he was familiar with Tall. We are not familiar, whatever you are. Okay, fine. So no old man conversations with this situation. Well, the Admiral is, admirals are always a bit of mean, because there's a joke I picked up in the Air Force and passed around, and people got a kick out of it. Basically, when you join, before in your civilian life, you have 9 marbles. That's what you're born with, 9 marbles. When you join the military, you give up a marble at E1 or O1 if you're going officer track. And as you increase in rank, you lose 1 more marble. So by the time you've reached, let's say O6 is a colonel, E6 is like chief master sergeant or something, or in the Air Force, or command sergeant major, Army. Check a chart, look at the branch, that's what When you get to the 6th level, you've lost most of your marbles. You got 3 left. You make it up to 09, which is in the general ranks, or admirals, you have lost all your marbles. And that was a way to explain the kind of idiocy we put up with in the lower ranks, because these people look nuts, higher up. But so yeah, Admiral, you have no marbles left, you know? You're probably owe a few marbles at that point. But it was nice to finally see somebody, you know, tell Burnham to shut the hell up and, you know, recognize the fact that she does not have rank in these situations. Commander, guess what? Full commander is, you know, the old pay grade is an 05. Odette Fear was playing the commander of Starfleet. We're talking 4-star admiral level, okay? So, again, yeah, commander. Above that, captain. Rear admiral, for commodore or rear admiral. Another rear admiral class. Then you got a 3-star admiral, and then, you know, way up, 4-star admiral probably, okay? You look at all the pips on the side there. That's a lot of pay grades between you and him. If you're in the, you know, if you're in her position. And by all right, he could have busted her for insubordination right then and there. That's how idiotic it is when you start mouthing off to higher ranks and when they're that higher rank. And again, you come trolling up in a 1,000-year-old ship and expect to be welcomed with open arms. Not so fast, hotshot. Okay. Especially to show up a technology you're not supposed to have. There was no record of this. So yeah, he's proving his rights. So we're going to reassign your crew and, you know, dismantle this ship of yours and see what the hell you got going here. So, as it is, I think, you know, they're there. I expect, you know, the excuse of spending more of CBS's money to do some upgrades to Discovery itself, like, you know, warp nacelles or whatever, and weapons. Like I said, it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't exactly noteworthy either. And of course, we got, you know, our little Benzite character, Non, going off on the on the little seed vault ship, eventually to be reunited with, you know, to the Barzan homeworld. Which I thought they were Federation members in the first place, but okay, they apparently joined sometime afterward. Have to rewatch that episode. That's the thing. So much of this stuff, I think what the main result of a lot is people going back and rewatching old episodes to find out what the hell they screwed up. You know? Because I think originally the idea, you know, when I was going to watch Equilibrium was just kind of pick up the point. No, I watched the entire thing. So, is it worth a subscription fee? No, it's not. It's not that, you know, it's still kind of lame. You know. I think that, you know, what probably helped in this case, as far as going why, is the fact that we really don't know anything about the Barzans, because they were just in one episode, and their planetary lifestyle, whatever, had no bearing whatsoever on the episode. It was just lady with long gray hair with, you know, a couple of things on her face, and she was, you know, auctioning off a wormhole. That's it. Everything else was centered on Deanna getting jiggy with one of the representatives for the other side. Yeah. And for the trivia's sake, that, you know, actor Matt McCoy, guy does art ads for the Hartford. That was him. He does actually act a few places, but okay. So, and next week appears to be some kind of jailbreak type episode, and bringing back Dime Store Idris Elba. So we will deal with that one as it comes. So, PayPal, Patreon, YouTube, Subscribe Star. Like, share, pass it around. Let's try and prove YouTube wrong as far as what they're doing to small creators. Time for a little rant here, guys. Susan Wojcicki. I've had this channel for about 9 years. I've only been really seriously pushing it as far as video stuff for the past 3. I really went a little nuts, you know, but on the eve of us being booted out on the streets, and kind of started as a bit of a chronicle of that. But it wasn't long into that. Probably my biggest video yet was just a commentary on the Midnight's Edge video, and it wound up with like 10,000 views, and that's pretty much the high watermark of anything I've done so far. Everything else, I'm lucky to get 1,000 after a while. Lately, it's a red letter day if I get 100 views on this. They're really throttling us, and it really shows up on the small channels. I mean, yeah, you mess around with PewDiePie, he makes a couple thousand less. You muck around the channel like this. I had briefly cracked 1,300 subs, and now I'm back down to like 1,295 last I checked. Everything, Susan, you have done with the algorithm and everything else, you are hurting small creators horribly. Who cares? I mean, of course, CNN and the NBC can let them post the videos, but that is not the way to go. YouTube was designed for small-time creators, individual people. The whole tagline of when things started was broadcast yourself. So, trying to cater to and somehow make YouTube the next Netflix or whatever, it misses the entire point of YouTube. It's to let individual people broadcast their own stuff, and people really like it, and they play it on, then share in the rewards. By all right, for one point, I was expecting getting paid last month, because the projected thing was I got $33. Okay, and I got 70, 8 racks up. Should have been a check. It dropped down to like 12 in about a couple of days. Now I'm like $3 per. What is going on here? It reminded me of the crap with the first Apocalypse. The first time I saw a Channel Awesome video, it wasn't a movie review. It wasn't Nostalgia Critic. It was Doug on there complaining about YouTube throttling fair use rules. So this is an ongoing problem. Constantly fixing what ain't broken. So you really want to make YouTube a better experience. Roll back some of these rules and regulations about 5 years. Back when this could actually be a going thing. I mean, I'll admit there's a little personal frustration here because I've seen channels come up and pass me like a standing still, pretty much. Doomcock, Mary Mayhem, Mecha Random. She started. I remember still random game users, and she started like a 5,000 sub base because it was a gaming channel. But then so I switched to pop culture. Bye, Nothing when I came across Garrett Neurotic, who was only a few thousand. And like I said, once upon a time, I was giving Doomcock shout-outs. I figured, hey, there's some guy to hook onto here, and we can both rise up. And he's shooting by me like a rocket, And I know a lot of it is circumstantial, but it doesn't help when the algorithm decides to put this boot on your neck. So, let's lighten up a bit here, okay? Jimmy Kimmel stuff will get out regardless, okay? They want to post it, let them post the videos, but let's not be catering to the big freaking companies and giving them all the money like they freaking need it.
Or like Brie Larson.
Oh, Brie Larson, she's monetized immediately. No waiting period, no getting, having to work up. No, she's just handed monetization on a silver freaking platter. And other channels like that. I mean, like I said, I've had this channel for 9 years and I've been working it for about the past 3. And I'm not giving up on it because I really don't have any choice. I ain't got a whole lot else going on right now. Not that I'm not trying. I might have a few things I got a few irons in the fire. Hopefully they're gonna come loose. But this is always gonna be a thing. Hopefully, especially once we get in a more permanent situation where I can actually build something of a studio. Even if it's the freaking dining room of a 1-bedroom apartment, that's place. Okay, that's it. Paint the back wall green and have fun. But you might have said a few times, I'm really just trying to keep the lights on. But frankly, it'd be nice to have a little more, a little more fuel. Okay? So like I said, at this point with them shadow banning and not promoting diddly squat anymore, it's like, share, subscribe, pass it around, guys. Because YouTube's doing us no favors, especially on this end of the scale. So we will talk at you later. Whoops. No, don't do that.